Try time, hidden talent. Jennifer getting a try. Taking the scores to hidden talent 12. As Jennifer converts her own try, ladies and gentlemen. Hidden talent 14. Chorus Google 0. The following teams, Nakuru under 19 and Huruma under 19, kindly start making your way to the player holding area. Meanwhile, ladies and gentlemen, if you're just joining us, this is the under 19 girls rugby tournament, category the 2018 Safari 7.
And it's a chance that you find within Kenyan rugby at any time. You know, the chance of Tuko, hidden talent, Tuko, and then back to the restart.
And the halftime score, hidden talent 14, Comoros 0.
Actually, Nondi is talking about it. That is the old sports club in the country. Then after that, you talk about Nairobi club. They had their rugby history, but right now, talk about cricket and tennis. That's what you talk about. So hidden talent in red, Comoros in blue, and hidden talent are going to restart. It's 7 minutes to determine who plays in the main cup final of the under-19 girls tournament at the 2018 Safari Sevens. It's quite a kick, goes into the 22, rolls into the try area. Comoros are there looking for it, and they send the ball out. I mean, the ball rolled into the 22. Michael, what did you do? Kill it inside the 22, you know, tap it and he could get a kick out, or did he just send it into out of touch?
Definitely.
Nothing to do with that ball. She hands the scrum over to the hidden talent on the attack in the 5. As the parents scores remain. Hidden Talent 14, Commerce Global 0.
So the attacking team now have got the advantage. So it's a 5-meter scrum for Hidden Talent. That is what Comoros have conceded. They had the opportunity to kill the ball because it had rolled into the try area. That would have given them straight, what, a 22 kick out.
That would have given them a 22 kick out. It would have gained them territory, but now they have to defend. They have to backpedal and probably concede another try.
Or quickly the ball is taken and they're looking for space, but immediately the defense at that 5-meter area is quite strong, and they're looking for the spaces, and they budge forward and right at the posts. Try time for Hidden Talent. 19 points for them.
Goes over to take the scores. And the margin for the Hidden Talent 219. Commerce Global 0. Jennifer gets the conversion right, ladies and gentlemen. The final scores Hidden Talent 21. Commerce Global 0.
So, having had the opportunity to gain territory, they gave it away, trying to make a run around. That did not work for them. So, it's a restart, and Hidden Talent 21 points. You can call that 128 points for the tournament, and that's a loss of the ball, knocked on, and Comoros get the ball, and the advantage is it's been called, but not making use of the advantage, so they've got to go back. It's going to be a scrum going the way of Comoros. After that knock on, it was going to be one moment, tried to get the ball into her hands, but just couldn't get a hold of it, and that meant an opportunity lost to extend their lead. 128 points Hidden Talent have scored today so far. How far can they go? Comoros now with a scrum. Trying to use the open side, but that pass was not well handled. It was lost, and it's been stolen. Hidden Talent right there, but there's been a call that's been made, and there was a knock-on that was called by the assistant referee, so it's going to be a scrum. Hidden Talent will have the put in. Ball is sent out wide. They're looking for spaces out on the open side. She slips through that defense like a hot knife through butter, and a touchdown right under the posts. 26 points to 0. Hidden Talent. They're not hiding.
Hidden Talent, ladies and gentlemen, getting the fourth try.
That the team to bid at
the try scorer Naomi Kaikai as Jennifer converts Naomi Kaikai's try. Ladies and gentlemen, tennis scores to Hidden Talent 28. Comoros Global 0. The next game, ladies and gentlemen, is Nakuru taking on Huruma.
So, Jeffrey is out there and she's going to get the game going again. That has been knocked on, but Comoros have got the ball. Can they make use of that advantage that they've been given by the referee? How long can it last? Making the run as they try to go out wide. They've got the rack, holding on to the ball. Looking for spaces, dances away from one tackler. Held on, no support close by. She holds on to the ball and it's just picked up. offloaded. Looking for the space out wide. The tackle is there and out to play. That's going to be a line out. It's going to go the way of the hidden talent. Helped onto her feet. So the players there holding on as the match officials are there and substitutions being made by Comras. As there is a stop in play, the referee trying to get the girls into position, and looks like there's been some they conferred with with it. Well, the indication is that there is a scrum going the way of hidden talent. Looks like he got some information from the assistant referee about an infringement that had taken place, so must have been a knock on, and that means that hidden talent get to put the ball inside scrum, almost losing it, and immediately going for the open side. Comras try and turn the ball over. There was a penalty has been given, and hidden talent making use of the spaces that they have. Quick short passes out on the far side, trying to use the open side. Holding on to the ball, they've got the advantage. It's on the deck. Well, the bell has gone to indicate that the game is coming to a close. Hidden talent are leading 28 points to 0. Comras now, they've got the ball. The offloads are coming. Just look at them, it's like they have a two-person maul. And there they are, holding on to the ball, and the penalty has been called. And the final whistle goes, it's full time. Hidden talent 28. Wubu Comras 0. And Hidden Talent are in the final.
Comras, Wubu, and
under 19
Hidden Talent to the end. Full-time score. Hidden Talent 28.
2018 Safari Sevens.
Comras, Wubu
will be
0. Coming up next, before we get into the kickoff phase of the girls under 19 Rugby Sevens tournament,
against
the 2018 Safari Sevens, Nakuru will be taking on Huruma.
Second semifinal, Nakuru versus Huruma. You know what's up, eh? Yeah. Sir, I don't know if this was switched off. If it's on off, because it's a become. Should be on.
So,
this is the second cup of. This is the second cup semi-final in the women's under-19 competition at the Safari Sevens, a match between Nakuru and Huruma. We have seen the semi-final between Hidden Talent and Wubu Community, ending in a 28-0 win for Hidden Talent. They will face the winners of this match between Nakuru and Huruma. And it is Nakuru bracing to get this match underway. The kickoff is deep and claimed by Huruma. Strong running from Huruma, breakthrough one tackle. The defense is dogged and coming from Nakuru. The dummy has been sold. The Nakuru players bought it. That seemed like obstruction, but the Huruma player continues to run mercilessly. Beautiful ball presentation skills, and you can see the Huruma players arriving in numbers as they ask questions of Nakuru early on. What a start from Huruma. Remember, coming into this match, it is Nakuru who are the pre-match favorites, just given their pedigree. But this is going to be the game's opening score, and it comes from Huruma. Talk about a blazing start to this match, Daniel Ohome.
I'll tell you this, Michael. If you cannot write off any team at this stage of the competition. It said that the semi-finals are heavily competitive, but that was some great run, breaking through and being able to pull, two defenders with you. The breakdown comes in when you're inside the 22, switch of direction, and you go around and straight between the posts. That is one of the best plays that we've seen so far. The conversion not good.
But you have to give credit to the player from Huruma. She sold the dummy and just rode, I think, 3 or 4 tackles before creating the opportunity for a teammate to go over the chalk for the game's opening try. It will be interesting to see the response from the Wanyores, as Nakuru are fondly referred to by their fans.
So Huruma are going to take the restart. Cleanly collected. Takes 3 to bring her down and looking for the open spaces. How wide can she go?
Remember, part of the trick of sevens rugby is also to stretch your defenders. Remember, like you said earlier, it's about space and pace. And Nakuru looking to utilize all those aspects of the game. Beautiful ball delivery, but have they gained enough ground? They seem to be at standstill, and the ball seemingly lost forward on the tackle. Does it matter? It doesn't, because Huruma have turned it over. And once again, blazing run. Does she have the gas to go all the way? She is a big unit, and she is going to canter all the way. The second try of the game. Huruma showing Nakuru no mercy.
Hakuna Huruma. Nakuru coming into this game, they were the favorites, but well, that conversion just hit the crossbar, so it's now 10-0, the missed conversion. So Huruma 10, Nakuru 0. 7 minutes aside at this stage for the main cup semi-finals and the finals for the placings 3rd and 4th. All other matches being played over 5 minutes. They can buy into time. And back to the center for a restart.
And Daniel, looking at the preliminary round fixtures, Nakuru were the hungrier side. They started with a 38-0 win over Community Rugby before whipping Nile Road by 35 points to 0, while Huruma 22-0 winners over Nanyuki Knights, and then getting a walk over Top Mark. So it's either that the rest has done Huruma good, or that they are really the hungrier side coming into this one.
So Nakuru trying to make use of the ball that they have, but Huruma cutting them out. So it's an opportunity for them to move forward. And that's one huge tackle collected. And look at the kind of recovery that Huruma have, moving from tackle to tackle, not allowing Nakuru to make use of their phases. Anytime a player has the ball, there's somebody who's there, ready to make a tackle and bring them down. The phases are quick. That's about 6 phases for Nakuru, and they've not managed to move about 5 meters. An opportunity for them, and that one tackle and loses the ball out, trying to go for it, and a knock-on is called, and it's going to go the way of Huruma.
Well, you have to give it to Huruma. They are defending doggedly. Nakuru, you just feel the thing that is bogging them down is they're probably not coming in from depth, therefore unable to gain that necessary ground, and also making it easy for Huruma's defenders to shut them off before they gain any crucial meters.
Looks like there's a player who got hurt in the tackle, so the medical team has got to be called on. And at the same time, it's when you see the coaches taking advantage and trying to be the person who's going to carry the water around and also give instructions at the same time.
True indeed, and just looking at both sets of technical benches, on one side for Huruma we have Adelaide Mukabi, former Kenya international and match official, while on the Nakuru side we have Samuel Njogu. He also is the strength and conditioning coach for the Kenya Lionesses, as well as top right Nakuru RFC, who play in the Kenya Cup. You have to give Nakuru RFC a lot of credit in the fact that they are one of the few big clubs in the country that are big in developing the women's game as well. And they do have a very strong and active grassroots program that has delivered players over the years.
Well, Nakuru, that's where you've got Nakuru RFC. And you've got to think that since the days of clubs like Eldoret and, you know, winning the Kenya Cup, when Nakuru won it, everybody said it's gone out of town. It had become the property of Nairobi clubs from 1973. So by the time Nakuru decided to take that trophy, everyone took notice of them, and they've got a big following. Maybe the advantage of, you know, being a single team in that one town that has got great camaraderie, and they always give a good account of themselves.
Indeed, and also that player base for Nakuru penetrating into the national teams, both the men's and women's. Quite a number of players have featured for both sides. Most notably players such as Gibson Weru, now coaching Nakuru's second team in the Kenya Cup, the Menengai Oilers. Meanwhile, play resumes here in this match between Nakuru and Huruma. It's still Huruma making life difficult for Nakuru.
Well, that ball has been stolen in the breakdown, and Huruma looking for the space out wide. And that's some wheels and off. This is some great pace. The referee is trying to keep up with her, and speedily she goes. Is she going to dive? Yes, she does. 5 points for her. What some great show of pace. That's about 60 meters of running at full speed. Huruma showing Nakuru no mercy.
And she still looks like she can do that over and over again. Hardly gasping, hardly looking strained. But, like you said, showing Nakuru a clean pair of heels. 15-0 Huruma running away with this one. It will be an interesting final. Hidden Talent versus Huruma if the scores remain as they are.
Well, think of this. Huruma will be playing against Hidden Talent. So we would like to see what that happens. But Nakuru, at the moment, having played 2 matches earlier, at the semi-final stage, they say they've been shell-shocked. Well, that has mutated over time since the First World War. The kick out from Huruma goes straight into the 22. Nakuru pick it just at the 5-meter line and, well, trying to gain the advantage. The ball goes out of play. And the final whistle has gone. It's full time. Huruma will be playing against Hidden Talent in the main cup final of the Under-19 Girls Tournament at the Safari Sevens. This is after a 15-0 win over Nakuru, while Hidden Talent were 28-0 winners over Nguvu Comrades. The 3rd and 4th playoff is going to be between Nguvu Comrades and Huruma, and those matches will be coming in. Coming up later, it's going to be the playoffs. First of all, 11 teams were there, so we're going to be looking at playoffs for position 11 and 12. That's basically done, so it should be position 9 and 10. That's where we should, the 11th place final, definitely that can't take place, having only because one team known as Top Back did not show up. So the 9th place final is the one that is lined up next. Oh, it's halftime, sorry. Well, I looked like it was way ahead. No. Well, the action is so fast, Michael, it's halftime. Well, my apologies. Looked like I'd called that too early, but it's 15-0. You can see on that huge scoreboard. Sorry. Well, on to the second half of this game. Looked like I'd called it early. Well, the entertainment and the excitement around it.
You know, there's a saying, it ain't over till it's over.
till the fat lady sings, but we can't be allowed to say that. It's a ladies' game here.
Let's see what the second half has in store.
Huruma will be getting us going. They've got 15 points. What can Nakuru do? 3 tries. Or basically, they need to score 2 tries, 2 converted tries. So Nakuru are on. Nakuru with the space, trying to go out to the right side. They're playing with the ball. They've lost it, turned over, but that is a knock-on. That's what's been called. How deep are they? Nakuru with the put in, trying to make use of the open side, and that ball has been missed, and they hold on to it, trying to move forward. Switching play, and moving towards the right. They've got the space. Can they make the break? The question is, where is the support? Rack form, there's a breakdown, and Nakuru get the ball. They surge forward, and the tackle is made. No space for Nakuru to move. They're inside the Huruma 22 as they make their way forward. They've got space out on the left. Can they make a charge forward? But that tackle is made. They lose the ball out, offloaded, trying to move forward again. Tackle made again. Huruma defending so strong as Nakuru now move towards the try line, just 5 meters out. But Huruma with making the tackles so fast. The referee indicating that it's supposed to be the ball width is Nakuru's ball. So Huruma have got to hold their gain line out of the deck. And Nakuru have an opportunity. Can they make it to the try line? And they do score 5 points.
In community rugby, St. Teresa and community rugby kindly proceed to the player holding area.
5 points for Nakuru. There's a conversion to come. How close can this game go? And the conversion is good. 7 points for Nakuru. They've got a deficit of 8. And you can see that they've got some sense of urgency around their play. So, 15-7. They get the game going. And that has been knocked on from the restart. Nakuru picked the ball. They've got the advantage. Can they make use of it? The referee says you can hold the play. Going out, looking for space out wide. They opt to go through the middle, looking for the direct route. A knock-on by Nakuru, and that's going to be a scrum for Huruma.
You know, Daniel, one interesting thing, I'm sure you've seen quite a number of players playing barefoot, but it is encouraged, especially in age grade rugby. If you look at things like the Craven Week down in South Africa, they actually make it such that the under 13s, under 15s as well, play without boots. It's all about the talent and not about looking good.
Well, we'll be seeing lots of good-looking boots tomorrow when the senior players show up here. But now it's all about girls playing barefoot and enjoying it. Well, punted forward. The question is, can she have the pace to catch up with it, or will Nakuru steal it? They do hold on to it, but why not pick it up and run? There's a breakdown there. Punted forward again. Now this is turning out.
play and probably even get some more scores on the board.
So line out going the way of Nakuru. With the referee helping the players, get to their right positions. Nakuru do win the ball from their line out. It was a knock-on, so no advantage. It's going to be a scrum for Nakuru, who need 8 points to tie this and goes into sudden death, or else Huruma will be going through to the final and play against Hidden Talent. Nakuru would then have to play against Comrades in the third place playoff.
Well, darling, you just feel as though all the hard work was done in the first half. That blitz from Huruma stunning Nakuru. They are trying to work their way. You see, they play a very slow and structured game. Huruma, on the other hand, in their faces every time Nakuru are in possession.
Well, that's a dummy and couldn't make use of the pace. And the tackles are now as it coming hard from Huruma as Nakuru steal the ball, and they're looking for spaces wide. Where is the support? Some of the passes, they look blind almost by intuition as they try break through, and there's some space that's been found holding on to the ball, and the bell sounds, which is an indication that time is running down. Nakuru would need some sort of miracle, to get past Huruma at the moment. 15-7, 8 points needed. In proper rugby, scoring 7 is what they can get at the moment.
Or 2 unconverted tries to take it to 15-all and take this game into sudden death extra time. But as it so stands, Nakuru a tad too slow with their face play. Remember, the bell, I was about to say buzzer, has sounded, and probably anything after that will be the last play.
So Nakuru with a penalty as they try to look for some points, and this being part of the final play, then Nakuru would be looking at a third place playoff. If Huruma do get the ball, be sure they'll look for anything to make sure that they send it out of play, and the ball goes out of play. It's kicked into touch. Yes, and now I can confidently say it's a final whistle, and 15 points to 7. 15-7. Huruma 15, Nakuru 7. Huruma are in the final of the Under-19 Girls Tournament.
The full-time score. Huruma Under-19 Girls 15, Nakuru 7. Coming up next, we have St. Teresa taking on Topmark. St. Teresa and Topmark is the next game. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, if you just joining us, we stand to the 2018 Safari Sevens. The 2018 Safari Sevens making a welcome return to the RFUEA grounds. This being the Under-19 Girls Rugby Tournament, bringing the 2018 Safari Sevens to a start. Remember, tomorrow the men's and the women's national teams category kicks off right here at the RFUEA grounds from 9 a.m. Remember, you can tweet using the hashtag Safari7s and get all the information relating to the Safari 7s on Twitter, the handle at Safari7s, and on Facebook, the official Kenya Rugby Union page.
So
you can also get the official information.
St. Teresa's against Topmark.
Safari 7s 2018 on the official website at www.kenyaRugbyUnion.
We are looking at the 12th place playoff.
Taking on to the beach next, St. Teresa's taking on Topmark.
St. Teresa's and Topmark playing And this game will be kicking off in the next 15 or so seconds. St. Teresa's are the team that you're seeing on your picture in top back up. As the game gets underway, and St. Teresa's have got an opportunity, and yes, they're making their way towards the try line. That is one big push, looking for support as she hits the deck. The ball gets out, and top mark defending with their lives. St. Teresa still have got the ball. Looking for ways to get inside the 5-meter line of top mark. And they now have got to defend. And top mark break through. And that... Well, this is actually St. Teresa's and Community Rugby. So Community Rugby getting the first try. All confirmation from the organizer that this is between St. Teresa's and Community Rugby. So St. Teresa's now with the ball. St. Teresa's playing in blue. Looking for some spaces where they can make their runs. And the defense from Community Rugby quite strong. Anytime that the St. Teresa's side make a direct approach, they go aground again. They've got the deck, they get it out. Question is, how fast can they and this is in the 9th place playoff. Community Rugby with the lead already. They've had one try here as they get a scrum. And they get it out, trying to make use of their pace, going out wide, evading one tackle. And she's got the speed. The St. Teresa's girls are not able to catch up with her. She's slipped away from them, but holding on to her shot, and that tackle is made. It has slowed down that. With Community who are leading by 5 points to 0. They've got the ball at this point. Scrum to Community Rugby. Rather two, well, there was a knock on by Community Rugby, so scrum going the way of St. Teresa's. They get the ball out, they lose it. They're still holding on to it, but that was pass forward It's now going to be a scrum just outside the 5-meter line. Rugby in the orange outfit. They're going to put this in. And they go out towards the left. They've got the space. Can they make use of it? But the ball has been stolen from the hands. And so it's now St. Teresa's who are trying to move forward, holding on to the ball, and it takes 3 tacklers to bring her down. They put it out, trying to make some yards. With a little bit of a goose step, she makes 5 meters, but again is tackled. And the ball is stolen from that breakdown, but there is an offside. It's an infringement, so it's a penalty going the way of St. Teresa's. It's the first half of this game. It's a 10th place playoff. As they try to move forward, and they're tackled in play, and the referee telling them, look, you've got to stay behind. You just don't enter from the side. Don't just try and make any approach to that rack from an illegal position. So trying to move forward, still stuck inside their own half. They've not gone past the 10-meter line for the past 1 or so minutes. And so they've got the ball and trying to make use of some of the space that they've got. And this little girl making a run, and she runs, and already a call is made that she went out of play. So the referee calls it. The ball is out of play, but at the same time, the indication is that probably there was a high tackle. That tackle was high. If you've got to make any tackle, then it's got to be shoulders downwards. You don't try and give somebody a half Nelson, what we call in this country ngeta. That ball is knocked on the ground, so it's an opportunity for another opportunity for community rugby to put the ball in. A scrum for community rugby as the bell goes. They are leading 5-0 as we speak. And taking too long to put the ball inside. So the referee has got to come in and intervene. And the ball is out of the scrum. Community rugby make a charge. Those are 3 tacklers beaten. And there is pace. And they also have got to make use of the pace. Can they support each other here? The ball is offloaded. It's stolen. And there is a knock-on that has been called. And since the bell had gone earlier, the referee should call half-time. And he tells the players, yes, you can switch sides. It's half-time. And it's community rugby who are leading St. Teresa's by 5 points to 0.
Community rugby and St. Teresa.
Well, Nanyuki Miners and Maono will be playing in the next game. That is in the 7th place playoff.
0.
Community rugby have got 5 points. It's a quick turnaround. Just about, as you can see on the board, actually it's our Top Mark who are playing. It's community rugby. Top Mark did not show up.
The start of the second half. Kicking off, ladies and gentlemen, is Comoros. Receiving is St. Teresa. And the current scores, Comoros 5, St. Teresa 0.
So St. Teresa with an opportunity trying to pick the direct route, and that means tackle will be easily made. That tackle is made. She gets back onto her feet, slides through 3 defenders. There's nobody close by, so she's got to hold on to the ball, sets the rack up, and the movement girls is not there. Can they find the space? 1 beaten, and now it takes 4 against 1. Goes aground. There is some offside play there, so caught offside was a community rugby player, so it's a penalty for St. Teresa's. Makes a scratch, and they try to move forward, trying to look for the spaces, but the tackle is made, so they've got to go aground quickly, getting rid of the ball and trying to look for the space so they can go out wide. And that one tackle that has been broken, and she's trying to make her way through. She's making her way closer to the 22-meter line. Spaces are there, makes about 10 meters. They're right inside the 22, the community rugby 22, trying to gain advantage from the breakdown, but that's from the side, still holding on, so they've got to go behind the gain line. Community rugby with the ball, trying to build from outside their 22-meter line. As now community rugby still have got the ball, still inside their 22. They've got to get out of that danger area from that rack. But St. Teresa's not allowing them to go, holding on. That's something you'd see with a lioness, trying to bring down her prey, holding on until they get to the jugular. But a penalty has been called, going the way of community rugby. Takes a penalty, opts to punt it forward, and they found some space, but the awkward bounce of this odd-shaped ball sees them lose the advantage. They had made some ground, got all the way to the halfway point. And so, as they try to catch up with it, they knock the ball on. It's going to be a scrum down, going the way of St. Teresa's, who are in blue. As the referee makes sure that the scrum has been set well. And they make a run out on the right, trying to move forward. That ball looks like it was played forward. So it's going to be a St. Teresa's ball. The tackle had been made, but they did not make much ground. Penalty knocked on. It's going to be a scrum down. For St. Teresa's, who now have got the ball. They're passing it through, trying to look for the spaces. Going out wide. They're trailing just by 5. So one try would see them get some advantage. Not holding on well to the ball. And it's lost out. And the advantage has been played to our community rugby. Still, the ball is open. The referee making sure that the players know where the ball is and which team has got the ball at that point. And it's St. Teresa's who've got it, trying to look for some way through. And that's a straight bump into the opponent, trying to knock them off the ground. We'll be seeing lots of that tomorrow, I can tell you. With these people being thrown around, as that tackle is made, and she slips through, trying to look for space out wide, has got company, and there is space and an advantage to run about 60 meters and extend their lead. She runs down, she's been caught up with, the tackle is made, she releases the ball, but she's got company. And so, even as the bell goes towards the end of this game, it's a try at the death for Community Rugby. Another 5 points for them as the game comes to a close. 10-0 it is, and there's a conversion to come. We should be looking at...
Ladies and gentlemen, Comoros getting the second try.
Well, she dropped the ball as she was trying to go for the conversion, and that is it. She misses that conversion, and the full-time score is 10-0.
St. Teresa 0. Coming up next.
The next game is going to be Nanyuki Miners against Maono. This is in the 7th place playoff. There you can see them having lined up. Nanyuki have got more fancy kit. You can see it's got a British feel around it. Almost looks like a rugby league kit, given the V that's just around the neck. As the teams are lined up, they're getting ready to get onto the pitch. As the two teams clear the pitch, Nanyuki Miners, one of the two teams from Nanyuki, the other one being the Nanyuki Knights. Nanyuki Knights will be playing in the 5th place playoff against Nile Road. This is after this. And so the teams are called, and onto the pitch they go. This is a 7th place playoff. Or earlier in the day we had that conversation with the man behind the Nanyuki Miners, David Gem, and for these Nanyuki players, none of them is older than 14 years old. You would argue that they are the youngest squad that are playing at this under-19 girls tournament. It's already been confirmed that St. Teresa's are going to finish 10th. Community Rugby are finishing 9th. This is to determine who finishes 7th or 8th. And kicking us off will be the Nanyuki Miners, being called to the center by the referee as the assistant referee switches position.
As we're counting down towards the final fixtures here in the women's under-19 competition at the Safari Sevens. And obviously Daniel Wahome, as have many of the other viewers noticed, why are our match officials in pink? Well, there was a saying once upon a time that real men wear pink, but remember, we also do have female match officials. They're also dressed in pink. But I recently had a very interesting chat with Constant Cap, who said that it was because they were trying to avoid color clashes with all the teams that play rugby locally.
Well, I can tell you that work's still going on around the RFUEA grounds, so that's why you can hear it, as already we can see one try from Maono.
Yeah, and back to the analogy of the pink kit, as the conversion is successful, it was that the referees were avoiding color clashes with all the other teams. And last season they played in, yes, the referees do play the game as well. They officiated the game in their maroon outfits, and this year they opted to go for pink. So it would be interesting to see what color they will be in next season.
All that has been explained so that everyone sees what's going on. You wouldn't expect any team to be in pink, and as much as they say the real men wear pink, but it still does count well. So Maono with the restart after taking a 7 points to 0 lead.
Maono 7, Nanyuki Miners.
As the Nanyuki Miners try to make some inroads, and they've got some nimble feet. Oh, yes, and she had to be tackled as she was dancing her way through the Maono defense as the two players got in, well, in a clash. As the Nanyuki Miners now try to find some way through the Maono defense, tackle mate, and time has been called off as the referee looks like there's something just outside of our picture. Looks like some players may have been hurt, and so the referee has got to go and pay attention to them. So that's a stop on the clock. The two players, there was a clash as that tackle was being made. And that means that the players will have to receive treatment on the field of play as the medics are called in. So looks like there were some cuts because one player from Nanyuki Miners is on the ground and another on Maono. So as they're being held up to their feet, so the coaches may be forced into some substitutions early on in this game. So the player still receiving treatment and looks concussed, and the young girl from Nanyuki still on the ground. That means that more attention needs to be given to her. It's a point at which probably you would see, Michael, that the medics are called in with a stretcher so that they can attend to these young girls, still developing their body. So, I mean, they may be frail, they may not have the capacity, to deal with some of the heavy impact that full contact rugby offers.
Definitely, and as you said, also when you throw in the element of conditioning, remember this is an age where you are looking more towards developing the talents and skills of the players rather than working on their conditionings. So when the clashes do happen, when the collisions do happen, the brunt will be borne differently. So it's probable that this was a high velocity, high impact collision. But it's great to see both players on their feet, and we just hope that both set of team officials will be sure enough to take the players through the requisite protocols before they can return to play. Remember, this is the action coming to you from the women's under-19 competition at the Safari Sevens.
So the players are walked off the pitch. Well, the young girl from Nanyuki says, I can continue with the game despite the impact that she felt, and from that tackle, as the coaches said, we may need to have some substitutions made. So the substitutions have been made. Just looking at the count of the Nakuru players, they're 7 now, and the players who were involved in the tackle have been pulled off the pitch as they recover, and so the same for Comras. So the 5 minutes are done, but there was a stop on the time. As the referee indicates, time is back on, so they've got to continue, and it's going to be a scrum the way of Nakuru Miners. We're trailing Maono by 7 points to 0. They get the ball out of the scrum as they try to look for space to run, and you can see that, this style of play, they understand the game, what needs to be done, but it's that continuity, the kind of motion that is there. You can't fault them for it, but you can see that they're getting it right. So that was an offside call, trying, feet in the rack and rolling over.
And there is no exemption with that age grade, and this is looking positive from the Nanyuki Miners.
Well, I love what she did. She was able to dance through, dummy one, and she's dotted the ball down. So Nanyuki Miners have got 5 points. As we wait for the conversion, you are saying simply the rules or the breakdown do not change. Doesn't matter at what stage. or level of the game.
It doesn't matter because those are some of the fundamentals of the game, and once you get those right from an early age, I believe that your play is going to be much better going forward, and that is probably why. As we,
ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Teresa to the 2018.
and that is why probably
Safari Sevens.
more African teams, more of the less developed teams, the tier 2 teams, tend to struggle, especially in such areas such as the breakdown, because of the application of the rules and the exposure to the game from an early age.
This being day 1 of day 3.
So,
Day 1, seeing the under-19
Maono
girls
7,
kicking off.
Nakuru 5.
Day 2 and day 3, the business
That
end
conversion
of the
going down.
2018 Safari Sevens.
And so the teams now have got to switch sides. It's a straight switch over and this is outside of the main cup competition. So we are still at the
The people behind the 2018
positional playoffs. This is in the playoff for position 7 and 8. It's between the Nanyuki Miners who are kicking off. They've got the black and gold jerseys against their opponents, Maono, who've got the maroon jerseys. So kick off for Nakuru, second half is, for Nanyuki rather, second half is on.
Official automotive partner of the Kenya
Well, the
Rugby
kick
Union.
went straight at ground and Maono pick it up,
Official hydration
trying
partner of
to
the
look
Kenya
for
Rugby Union.
a way through the Maono defense, and she's broken through. Now it's an opportunity for her to run down. She's got the entire pitch, but her pace is not there. That gap has been closed, but look at that injection of pace, and she dots down.
You know, Daniel, I couldn't help but notice the Maono player seemingly smiling when she broke into space, probably aware that she was going to score a try. You have never seen a happier try than that one just created and scored by Maono.
Last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, the official beverage partner, yours, mine, ours, Tusker.
Also, that's another 5 points for Maono, so they've got 12 points now, and the conversion is good. That's 14-5, and it's the second half of the 7th place playoff. The 5th place playoff is to come. Another Nanyuki side, the Nanyuki Knights, playing against Nile Road. That's going to come after this. And the kickoff, this is going to be by Maono, straight into the 22-meter line of Nanyuki, and that is a strong run, trying to hold on to the ball, and that has been knocked on, and that's a call that has been made by the referee. Immediately, they couldn't make that gain, but anytime in rugby you make about 22 meters, you really need somebody in support, so that as you decide to off the ball, make that pass, you can make sure that everything continues and it's non-stop. It's a scrum for Maono. Scrum is there as they get the ball out and the tackle is made. An offload goes through, trying to look for width and make some pace, but they go back to the middle. Holding on is Maono, who got the ball. Another offload made and a little bit of injection of pace, and it's another 5 points for Maono against Nanyuki Miners. It's now 19 points to 5.
Maono goals.
Indeed, Daniel, and Maono just tightening the noose in the second half, just running away with this, and you can't help but feel that they are going to claim 7th place overall in this under-19 competition at the Safari Sevens.
Well, the conversion goes wide, and so it's 19 points to 5. as we can see Nanyuki making 4 substitutions at once. Actually, look at it, 5.
Well, what to do? Last game of the tournament, your team is trailing by 14 points. I think it's time to give everyone a run out and just let them have a feel. And like you said, the youngest team in the competition, many of their players aged 14 and below, as you said, an average age of probably between 13 or 14, if I'm not wrong. So this is the kind of experience and exposure that they will take home and be impacted by heavily, especially in the years to come.
So the kick out, and it's fumbled by the Nanyuki side. Well, that was one crazy tackle, despite that knock-on having been called, of picking your opponent by the feet and tossing them over the same way you would to a wheelbarrow. So it's going to be a scrum for Maono. As the bell goes, that's to indicate that time is up, and then we shall have the next run in. And the referee, as that scrum was just about to be played out, calls full time, and it's 19-5 for Maono against Nanyuki Miners, and this was in the 7th place playoff. So Maono finished 7th overall at the under-19 girls tournament at the Safari Sevens, and that means Nanyuki Miners are going to finish 8th. It's now time for the 5th and 6th place playoff, the 5th place playoff. It's Nile Road who are going to be playing against Nanyuki Knights. That game is coming up once these other girls are out. 19-5, you can see that's the full-time score from that boat. That's direct. It's hidden at one corner, of the RFUEA grounds, somewhere next to where the kids will spend their time, the family area, as it's been called, as it has been identified. Three more matches at this age grade competition to come. We've got the 5th place playoff. This match is going to last about 10 minutes. Then we're going to have the 3rd place playoff as the 2 teams march in. As you can see, the Nanyuki Knight playing against Nile Road.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you're just saying us, the next game is a 5th and 6th playoff match between Nile Road and Nanyuki Knights. And after that, we'll have the 3rd and 4th match between Comoros Ngubu and Nakuru Girls. And the one we've all been waiting for, the final of the 2018 Under-19 Girls Tournament. Hidden Talent taking on Huruma. Hidden Talent.
Tackle made as so Nile Road in blue, and Knights have got the navy blue with the stripes.
I repeat, ladies and gentlemen, the final of the
As Nile Road make their way forward, the tackle is made. The referee calls for penalty. That's a high tackle that was made. The player is still on the ground, from that pain. High tackles, really painful, you've got to say. So, penalty to Nile Road, who are playing from right to left of your picture. Nile Road looking for the direct route, so close to each other. But Nanyuki Knights have stolen the ball, trying to play it with their feet as they make their approach to the 22-meter line, but it's been turned over and it's Nile Road. We've got the ball now, trying to make their way forward. And the tackle is made. No meters gained. The Nanyuki Knights defending for their lives. And the ball was held on to. You hold on to the ball when once you hit the deck, then you either release it to your players, but if you hold on to it, then it becomes a penalty to the opposing side. And in this case, it is the Nanyuki Knights who've got that. The referee has called time for a player to receive attention. You can see that the medics are right the center of the pitch. It's an Nile Road player who needs treatment as she tries to get up.
Scoreboard kindly go make the changes. The current teams, Nanyuki Knights and Nile Road taking on each other in the 5th and 6th playoff match. Scoreboard kindly make the correction. It is Nanyuki Knights taking on Nile Road.
So you can see the Nile Road player, you can see that she's in pain, but the best thing would be to let her recover and another one to have an opportunity. Remember, this is the 5th place player of the Under-19 Girls Tournament. The Knights trying to make their way past the Nile Road defense. They make their charge, they're inside, making their way towards the 22-meter line. They've broken through and they've got space out wide, trying to fend off the Nile Road defense, holding on to the ball, but it's been turned over. So Nile Road now have an opportunity. They're out wide. Can she make a run for 70 meters? Can she do it? Let's see if she can do it, but that tackle is big and out of play they go. It's going to be a line out the way of the Nanyuki Knights. And another Nile Road player feeling the impact of that tackle. She's outside there. She had made some space, but you can see that the Nanyuki Knights players really not taking any chances with their defense. Scoreless in this game so far, by the way. And it's been a 5th place playoff. Remember, the 3rd and 4th place playoff to come. Nguvu Comras against Nakuru, and then later the final, Hidden Talent versus Huruma.
Daniel, like you said, scoreless so far. You just feel the energy levels also sapping. The energy levels are sapped, of course. The players playing under the sunlight right from 10 a.m. in the morning here at the RFUEA ground, playing 4 to 5 games today, and also having got here from their various destinations. Remember, they are not at the same level of conditioning as their senior counterparts, but you have to give them kudos for showing up and giving their best here at the women's under-19 competition at the Safari Sevens.
So the call's been made after that tuck. Well, call had been made for line to go, but it's now time for the Nanyuki Knights. Oh, and that line has been broken. The question is, can she hold on to it? She's got lots of pace with her, and the Nanyuki Knights dot down the ball. 5 points for the Nanyuki Knights.
Clean pair of heels, ladies and gentlemen, by the Nanyuki Knights. Breaking the deadlock and taking the scores to Nanyuki Knights 5, Nile Road 0.
Well, there's still the conversion to come. The difference is, for these young girls, they've been given, the privilege of taking the conversions right in front of the post, and that came off the upright. She had the technique right, so the scores are now 5-0. Nanyuki Knights 5, Nile Road 0. It's the first half of this 5th place playoff. It's 5 minutes aside. There goes the bell, and the referee called for a switch of sides. So it's halftime, so they've got to switch sides.
And Nakuru. Under 19 goals. And after that, ladies
See
and
the players, they're
gentlemen,
on the pitch. They really haven't received the message that they're supposed to switch sides
the final
for the second half of the game. So the Nakuru Knights players still on their half. Well, they've got what? I can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 players. So substitutions have been made.
I'd like to ask Comrades Kubu and Nakuru to kindly start making their way to the player
And
holding area.
just by the look of it, the referee may have to do a count of the players. Well, looks from the shadows. Yes, one of them has ran out the pitch. Let the players have the opportunity to play at this playoff level. And kicking off the second half will be Nile Road, who are trailing by 5 points to 0. As the Knights now make another charge, and that tackle is firm. The offload is good. Quick change of passes as some ground is made by the Nanyuki Knights. Breakdown.
And you know, Wahome, looking at the action this afternoon, you are just amazed by the way the players want to attack from first phase. But remember, like we said time and again, this is the introduction for many of these players. Beautiful stepping there. I'm sure she was a soccer player before she went into rugby. And she gained some ground for the Knights. Beautiful offload as well. It's on the floor, but that was some brilliant footwork. Probably one of the players I'd like to see playing for the Kenya Lionesses in the World Series in 2026. It's just a random year that I picked up, but yes.
Yes, 2026 would be a very good year. 2028, where will the Olympics be? Los Angeles. Probably. She would be an Olympian 10 years from now. Given that she's probably around, 13 years, then you'd see she would be 23, 10 years from now. That's not far off. They say time flies. So the Knights are able to move forward. They're making, great inroads, gaining ground time and again. And there she is again with her little steps, shaking off everyone. And a high tackle has been called, so it's a penalty to the Knights. She's nimble. She's able to dance our way around. Maybe we would like, if the DJ was to let the music flow, then we probably would see another side where she gets a step from.
When she probably has 2 left feet when it comes to dancing.
That's impossible. And another break by the Nanyuki Knights, and this is going to be right under the post. A 5-pointer going their way. 10-0 it is. Try time, Nanyuki.
And a just reward for the pressure they have piled on Nile Road. But you could see it right from the second half restart. Nile Road just kicking the ball straight into the Nanyuki Knights, gifting them possession, and it was pretty much advantage Nanyuki from there. The conversion is successful, 12-0, with still plenty of the second half to play for.
Remember that these matches outside of the main cup have been brought to a 10-minute game with just about 30 seconds for the changeover. So they're playing 5 minutes in each half, so it's been made short so that they can try as much as possible to stay within schedule. And after this, we're going to have the third place playoff, Nguvu Comras against Nakuru. The kick out, does it really go 10 meters? No, but they've been allowed by the referee to continue with play because they've given Nile Road the advantage, as Nanyuki now try to play the ball forward and it goes out of play. It's going to be a line out for Nile Road right at the 10-meter line. So the players not that much in a hurry to get into that line out setup. A good thing is that 20 years ago you would not lift, so you needed some of these very tall players. We have people like Peter Duarte getting being hired by teams basically to win lineouts.
I remember a second row combination of Peter Duarte and Christian Omoni. Probably the slowest men on the pitch after the props, but the tallest and
longest would be better. Combined height 13 feet. As Nile Road tried to move forward, almost having that ball stolen from them. They've got the opportunity. They're trailing by 12 points to 0 in this 5th place playoff. The Nanyuki Knights not allowing them to gain territory, but already they're in their half. So they still hold on to the ball, making the passes. They are short. They are on point. As you can see, they're trying to really make use, try and turn your player around, win the ball from the breakdown. Then the Nanyuki Knights, but not doing so.
But you know, Home, just looking at Nile Road, they just seem to be going through the motions, passing the ball but not gaining any ground, and they have been easily dispossessed by the Nanyuki Knights. Beautiful play once again, and there's the hot stepper, for lack of a better word.
That would be it.
Probably
she's the daughter of the she's the daughter of the daddy of the Mac Daddy. And some great show of pace. 60 meters to go. She's into the Nile Road half, still accelerating, going towards the post. She's got 2 chasing her and she's got company. And Nile Road give up. And another try right under the post for the Nanyuki Knights. 60 meters of running.
And you know, one of the most amazing things is we've seen quite a couple of long-range tries, especially this afternoon. And the fact that the players make it look so effortless. Daniel Wahome, when was the last time you made a 60-meter sprint for something that wasn't free?
For something that wasn't free? No, it was. I think it was for my freedom, so that I could be free, running away from riots.
So they've had it from the man himself.
Actually, when you tell people they are free things, they would rather walk. Well, the conversion has not been called.
Yeah, it hasn't been called because you have 30 seconds within which to take your conversion. And obviously the players, seemingly not aware of that, just breached that 30-second target. So the scores remain 15-0.
Actually, 17-0.
17-0. Thank you for the correction.
As we see the future of Kenya Rugby Union returns on the ladies' game.
So, penalty call. Actually, the try. So the try was cancelled because there was an infringement at the breakdown where the ball was stolen by Nanyuki, and they made the try. So it's been cancelled. So it brings back the scores to 12-0. Try cancelled, and you can imagine that was 60 meters that had been gained for a try. Everyone was excited about it, but the players just realized, hey, there was an infringement.
Well, it doesn't really matter much because the referee calls for full time.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, the second referee brings proceedings to the end.
Nanyuki claiming the 12-0 win over Nile Road.
So, a 12-0 win for Nanyuki Knights over Nile Road. They finished 5th at the under-19 tournament at the Safari Sevens. Nile Road finished in 6th place. And now, it's what we would call the bronze medal match. It's a 3rd place playoff. It's Nguvu Comras against Nakuru. We had Nakuru, who came into this tournament looking like the favorites, but losing out 15-7 to Huruma, and that was in so 15-7. Yeah. 15-7 in the semi-final is how they lost to Huruma. And then we had Nguvu Comras, who lost 28-0 to Hidden Talent. So Nakuru, there they are in the white tops, and right across will be Nguvu Comras in their blue jerseys, and there they are huddled together.
And Daniel, I'm sure that you've noticed quite a couple of teams playing in Get Into Rugby branded shirts. Well, Get Into Rugby is an initiative of World Rugby, and it is being applied by the Kenya Rugby Union. It is all about introducing players to the game through 3 phases, which is try, play, and stay. So many of these people are introduced into the game through clinics, get to try it, and if you love it, you stay in the game. Pretty simple, and that is how the Kenya Rugby Union and Kenyan Rugby in general is tapping into a larger player base going forward.
Well, we can see that the try beat has been done. The play beat is now happening. the thing is, at under 19 and going forward, we want to see them stay, and we can see some growth, especially on the Kenya Lioness side. Nakuru will get us going as the referee looks at the number of players in each side. Make sure they're 7, not 7.5. And that is one long kick and inside the 5-meter line of Comras, and playing like an old school fly half, and she slides through 2 defenders. She's got the space. This is going to be a 100-meter dash from one end of the pitch to another. She's so far made 75 meters. That's a lot of ground to gain by one player, and that was from the kick out, able to break through from their defensive line. Nakuru now having to defend, and all that effort made, all has gone down with one fumble, just one knock-on. 75 meters, Mark. 75
meters, and she probably still has the gas. Once again, I would do 75 meters and just walk out the gate, go into the nearest watering hole, and come back tomorrow refreshed for another 75-meter run.
Probably a hospital for some drip full of saline.
You called it, Daniel. You called it.
So, it's scrum going the way of Nakuru. Trying to look for the space, and they've broken through, and she's got 60 meters to make up for, and she's running down. Can she have the pace to hold on to that? Looking down, does she have support? The tackle is made inside the 22. Nakuru have got the ball at the breakdown. They make the space. Question is, can they do it? Going out wide, goes past one defender, pushing through, and the try is made. 5-4 Nakuru.
And you just have to love the support play that came in from the Nakuru players. First of all, keeping their composure after being pressured and responding beautifully with that try. And there was a beautiful offload just before the final play that resulted in the 5-pointer.
And the conversion is good, so it's 7-0. So that kick out by Nakuru, going almost 20 to the Comras 22, and they find the space out wide as Nakuru try to steal the ball. It's a turnover ball for Nakuru. Comras trying to get their hands into the rack and holding on to it. It's been turned over. Nakuru have got the ball. The advantage is played by the referee. And Nakuru, they make a charge towards the try line. Is there support? Because they're already inside the 22, and that has been stolen at the tackle. So they've got to make space. One dance out, looking for space out wide. And the tackle is made, passing the ball backwards. The referee close by, so he can make a clear call as to whether the ball went forward or not. And that was one evasive move, and she's down the touchline. She's running down. She's all alone. She's trying to make her way to the post. She's realized that there is nobody chasing her, and Comras have got an opportunity to make it 7-5. Slows down. She's able to walk right to the post. No one is bothering her. When's the last time you saw somebody walk down to the try line?
It depends on who the somebody was. Was it the person who called for the try? Was it the person who was behind the post receiving the ball? But indeed, it's been quite a minute since you saw that. But Daniel, you have to love the uninhibited play that we have seen this afternoon from all the teams. Playing with a lot of passion, throwing tactics aside. But, you know, this is what age grade 7's rugby is all about, and should these players be harnessed, should they be kept together, then the future of Kenya women's 7's rugby is very bright.
Well, you've got to say that because everyone likes to talk about, play with structure and all that, but at some point, for 14 and 15-year-olds, at times it's good to let them have some fun, let them have their way. Still, find a way they're getting inventive at any one point, and that is what makes the beauty of it. That's a kick out, and it doesn't go 10 meters out. So that means that Nakuru get that penalty. Can they make advantage of it? And they've gained some ground, and that line's been broken, but the tackle is made. And they set that rack, find the space. Can they make the play as they make the approach to the try line? A quick pair of heels, and as Nakuru have got the ball at the breakdown, still holding on to it. Can they find some space through Comras? And that pass is made, and it's another try for Nakuru. 12 points to 7 in this third place playoff, the bronze medal match of the under-19 girls tournament at the Safari Sevens.
Talk about the teams going toe for toe, because anything that Nguvu community have thrown at Nakuru, Nakuru have responded. We saw Nakuru score the first try off that 75-meter run from Nguvu community, but the response from Nakuru was wonderful. We then saw Nguvu community score with a long-range effort of their own before Nguvu community once again conceded a try from Nakuru. Current scores 14-7.
Well, to convert tries for Nakuru, remember they've got to keep times at this level. The matches are being played at 7 minutes aside, so Nakuru with the restart. 14-7 for the third place finish. Nakuru, who looked like the favorites on paper before they lost to Huruma, 15 points to 7. A first half blitz from Huruma that really destroyed Nakuru. Comras now making their way forward on the deck. Sending the passes out, makes a little bit of ground, and now she's got space out wide, goes into the Nakuru half, and she's bundled out of play. The bell goes, so there we've got play was continuing, so it's going to be a line out for Nakuru, with the referee giving them the options of whether they would like to take a scrum or if they would like to take a line out.
Daniel, as the first half approaches its close, must say it has been frenetic. It has been end-to-end stuff. Let's see what the second half has to offer as these two teams go into the breakdown.
And also, just taking a look at the options that these young players are being given, they probably don't have, the kind of energy to do a line out, throw it in 10 meters in. And so they have been given the options of taking the scrums instead of line outs. And Nakuru do win their scrum. They're leading 14-7. It's the final play in this first half. Question is, can Nakuru make use of it? And the referee indicating that the ball is still in play. Nakuru still holding on to that possession. Holding on to it with the passes and now trying to find some way through. They've got the ball, hands through, so Nakuru still have got the advantage. Sent out wide. Can they make use of their pace? The tackle is made and it's good. Nakuru still holding on to the ball. We've had an extra minute and a half so far of play in this first half. The bell went, indicating the end of that half. But so long as the ball is in play, the action has going to continue. The only way to come to a stop is if there is a score, the ball goes into touch or there is a knock on. So Nakuru with an opportunity to extend their lead, trying to break through the Comras lines, still holding on to the ball. No break in play. Nakuru have got the opportunity, and what can they do? Trying to use the direct route, and they stop dead on their tracks. Looking for the wide positions out there. Remember, you can watch this anywhere online on KBC TV shows. That's their YouTube channel you should be looking out for. if you've got friends out there or from all over the world and you want them to watch these Safari Sevens, tell them to get onto KBC TV Shows. That's a YouTube channel that is streaming this match live. A penalty for Nakuru out on the far side. We're still into the final phase of play in this first half. And Nakuru trying to break through the Comras defense. They're inside their 22 now. The question is, can they make the yards? Can they get through the Comras defense, score a try? And yes, they do have that. Can the tackle be made? And over the line they go. 19 points to 7 for Nakuru. There's still the kick to come, and that should be the final action we are seeing in the first half of this third place playoff.
And what an exciting first half it has been. Nakuru turning up the style slowly but surely. They take a 19-7 lead with a conversion to come.
All with the conversion coming from 10 meters out, straight between the posts.
She's even taking her time with her shoelaces and just having a feel of the ball. But remember, you do have 30 seconds. Is the conversion successful? Yes, it is. 21-7 at halftime. We still have the second half to come.
Nakuru ladies 24, Comras 7. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, your third place team of the 2018 Under-19 Surprise Sevens Girls Tournament.
So, there you 21-7 it is at halftime. 21 points to 7. Well, not what you're seeing on the board. 24-7. It's 21-7. 3 converted tries for Nakuru against 1 for Comras. Nakuru, that's the side you're seeing right on your screen. They still have got another 7 minutes in this third place playoff, and then we will have
we are down to the final of the Under-19 Girls Tournament in Surprise Sevens 2018.
And they still have got one more match, and it's a finalist who are going to be Huruma playing against Hidden Talent. That's one game we'd like to see. Huruma upsetting Nakuru at the semis. Hidden Talent upsetting Comras. So there they are, huddled together, getting the final instructions from the referees ahead of the game. So we will wait to see that match. And for those of you asking if there are any lady match officials, well, you will see them once that final is there. So the first half is done. Comras still huddled together, and they've got to get the second half going. So they've got to jog across the pitch. The under-19 girls all enjoying their rugby, and Comras are going to get us going in the second half. Well, the Comras players looks like they had positioned themselves like they were going to be the receiving team, not the kicking team. So that change has been made, and let's get the second half action going. Well, that's a kick that goes straight into the Nakuru 22. They are able to pick it. The good thing is, despite knocking it on, she was facing her post, so that would not be called as an infringement. And they've made some yards just by rolling with the ball. Quite some strong play. And they find the space, holding on to the ball. Comras trying to make sure that no gains are made in terms of distance at the breakdown. They've got to hold on to their gain line. Going out wide, making the passes flow. Breaking play, but continues as Nakuru try to make their way forward. The tackle is made. Comras not replying in time to force a turnover. And Nakuru gets some space out wide. Can they make their way to the try line? The tackle is made and she's bundled out of the field of play. So the referee is there. It's going to be a line out. And what do the players call for? Is it a line out? Well, they simply say, let's do a scrum, and time is stopped because looks like the player had herself as she made that tackle. Two players from Comras bringing one Nakuru player down as she tried to make her way to the try line, and they are inside the Comras 22. So the player is on the ground, looks like she may have hurt her head. She's lying motionless, so the medics have got to be very careful. The one definitely called from the coaching staff at this point is make a substitution. The good thing is that she's moving, but you can tell that she's in real pain. Looks like she may have hurt her head. And the rules in sport are, if there is a player with an injury that looks like a concussion or anything, play must be stopped. That player must get the requisite attention, and then, and only then, can play continue.
Indeed, and World Rugby, in a bid to make the game a lot more safer, have introduced the HIA Head Injury Impact Assessment, which is geared towards reducing the number of concussions and a lot of rugby-related injuries resulting from these kind of collisions, head injuries and collisions.
Well, the player is able to get back onto her feet, but you can tell that she's in pain. Looks like there was some impact, some frontal impact. So that means a substitution may have to be made. And time is called back on, which means play resumes. And Comras are the team who are going to be taking this scrum. The scrums are being taken in lieu of the line out. Anytime the ball goes out of play. And this is at the age grade level. But at the main competition tomorrow, expect that, yes, there will be the scrum halves throwing the ball in, whilst an offside call made against Nakuru. So Comras are the ones who've got to take that penalty, and they take it quick but do not make enough yards. And another infringement, and time is called, and the referee has got to go and explain to the Nakuru players that, look, you've got to stay within number 1, 10 yards out. So they've been asked to go back 10 so that the penalty could be taken. Well, punted forward, and what some show of pace. The question is, can she catch up with it? She does. She's holding on to it. The question is, does she have support? And there was that offside call, holding on to the ball as she tried to release it to her teammate. That did not happen. So that penalty offered just 10 meters in. Nakuru now trying to extend their lead. 21-7, they were leading at halftime. No scores in this half so far. But Nakuru, the team in white, and now moving forward, are the ones leading, and they are looking for that third place playoff. Picking up the ball, breaking through the Comras lines as they try to find some space. Well, two players playing the role of scrum half, but who can be sweeping for them? They do make some ground as they try to get the Comras players offside. Still stuck inside their own half, Nakuru, as the clock ticks down for them, and a penalty is called basically for the tackler not releasing. The moment that's been made clear, you make the tackle, then release. Scratched as Nakuru try to get out of their own half and surge forward into the Comras area. The ball handling by these top 4 sides has been quite impeccable as Nakuru try to find some space, and they make it through to the 10-meter line. Start another phase of play, looking for space out wide, but The pass coming a little bit too late. It was red, and the defenders made their mark. Well, that has been a knock-on. The ball was rolled, and she was not able to pick it up. Michael. Looking at these two sides so far, and knowing that they've got probably just about another two or so minutes of play remaining for Nakuru and Comras, what's going to be the takeout for them from the under-19 girls tournament?
I think just the fact that they played at the biggest stage probable for the under-19s, and the fact that there is a lot more to be gained. Playing before these crowds, this is not what they usually play before, should give them the motivation to stay further in the game. And let's see where these girls would be in another 2, 3, 4, 5 years from now. It would be great, because Kevin Wambua, as the Kenya Lionesses head coach, has openly stated the fact that he needs to regenerate the team. We've had players on that team for close to a decade. And the takeout is, this could be the next crop of Lionesses.
Well, the Cubs are showing what they've got to offer before they go out for the big hand. Comras trying to find some breakthrough the Nakuru side, and that's one big tackle. I think that's the biggest tackle we've seen so far as Comras make their way, trying to break through this Nakuru defense. Two players from Nakuru at any one point trying to make sure that no gain is made. Nakuru with the ball, they do win it from that change of play, so they've got it. It's been turned over. Comras now on the defense. Nakuru making the attack, looking for the short side. But looking at the options they've got, not much running. They didn't have the opportunity. Nakuru still have got the ball. They've got space out wide. The question is, how far can they make use of the space? The bell goes, and that means it's a signal to indicate that we're getting into the final phase of play. Nakuru taking the direct route, and that ball has been knocked forward, and Comras have got the advantage. Can they make use of it? The referee has called it. The question is he going to make a call if Comras do not make use of it? And Comras now looking to make use of the short side. One dummy, and she slipped through. Quite some great use of the feet and the pace. The question is, can she hold on to the ball? Comras still have it, and they've got an opportunity to take off and go to the try line. Some closing action play coming through from Comras. 21-7, they were trailing. It's now 21-12. She makes a few steps. Look at her, she can feel that load. She's looking tired. Dots the ball. That's 5 points for Comras right at the end of it all.
And Daniel, you should have seen me for a moment forgetting that I'm in the commentary booth and just cheering the wonderful play that was there. Exciting this match has been between Comras and Nakuru. 21-12 with the conversion to come. What a way to sum up this third place final. Probably sets the stage for what should be an exciting final between Hidden Talent and Huruma. Conversion is successful, and that is the full-time score. Nakuru just nicking this one 21-14 to finish third at the Safari Sevens under-19 competition.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, your third place team of the 2018 under-19.
Well, that result means that Nakuru finished third overall at the under-19 tournament. This is for girls. No boys have been playing today, and it's a great show of it by these young girls. The future of the Kenya Lioness is all on display here. I know Kevin Wambua, the Kenya Lionesses coach, has been sitting and watching the girls through and through. And like Michael mentioned, he says there needs to be a transition. New blood has to be injected, and the competition has to be there. Now, after this, it's the final. It's a big one. And this is the girls under-19 tournament. It's going to be between Hidden Talent and Huruma.
Up against Hidden Talent. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the final. After seeing the ladies on day one from 9 a.m. today, we are now to the last match of the day, the final of the under-19 girls Safari Sevens tournament.
So there are the players.
Hidden Talent. Right, ladies and gentlemen,
So there are the two teams lined up. And
The girls lining up before the kickoff of the final.
well, this is a standard ritual when it comes to rugby, and you can see the two sides and the match officials.
And now, ladies and
Huruma
gentlemen, going in for handshake, a finals handshake, led by Kenya Rugby Union Treasurer Ronnie Joshua, followed by Mary Otieno, Resolution Impala, ladies coach Kevin Manoambua, Kenya Sevens assistant coach, and the Kenya Lionesses head coach Sami Jobu. Strength and conditioning, and Felix Mwalimu, involved deeply in generation and growth of talent from the Nakuru RFC, getting a handshake from the finalists Huruma and Hidden Talent.
So the two sides, and on the left of your picture is Hidden Talent, and Huruma are to your right. You can see Kevin Ombo and Mary Cheno, the Impala Sevens coach, as the others now make their way out to the pitch. As you see the people who are there, the under-19 finals. This is one that everyone's been waiting for. So there are the players, and the whistle has gone. So it's now time for the action. Huruma versus Hidden Talent. Hidden Talent in blue, in that navy blue, the ones on your picture right now, huddled together. And there is Huruma, the team that defeated Nakuru, while Hidden Talent defeated Comrades. Nakuru, we just saw them finish third, and now it's the main trophy that's being fought for. So the championship final, as you can hear the announcements being made, Hidden Talent out there, they've not conceded a single point in the tournament so far. 107 points at the pool phase and 28 at the group stage, 129 points. But as for Huruma, they've played one much less because one team, Top Mark, did not show up, so they had enough rest. And now it's Hidden Talent who are going to be kicking this off. So Hidden Talent from left to right of your picture, the final of the under-19 girls tournament at the 2018 Safari Sevens, happening at the RFUEA grounds. So Hidden Talent had one player extra, and so the referee, after confirming that they're now 7 apiece, says they can start. Well, that has been stolen by Huruma. And are we going to have the first try? Look at Hidden Talent defending with their lives. One crunching tackle, but already Huruma on the breakdown, covering for that ball. And the cheers are coming in from the girls. Look at this. The tackle has been made. Sticking to the leg. Crocodile style on a wildebeest. Trying to make the turnover or Hidden Talent, but Huruma still have got holding on to the ball. And another breakdown. Huruma with that kick and chase. The question is, are they quick enough? Let's see what happens here. As Hidden Talent get the ball, they've been pushed into their own try box. What are they going to do? Are they holding on to it? So the referee calls for some infringement, mentioning it to the players, and it's going to be a 5-meter scrum. Held onto the ball inside that try area, was held up, and the referee having to call them to the 5-meter line. It's going to be a scrum, and it's going the way of Huruma with team in red. Well, Huruma in Swahili is mercy, but Huruma at the moment have not been showing mercy to anyone. And Hidden Talent are able to steal a ball from that scrum. They've got it. They set up the breakdown, but they almost lose the ball, and tackle is made. Looking for space. So trying to get out of their 22 using pace, and that tackle has been made. Can they hold on to it? And there is a tap on, and the ball goes out of play. Looks like most probably it was a knocked on. The ball is out of play. And it's going to be a scrum. Line out is what they opt to go for. Huruma. Normally we've seen the girls going for the scrum. Well, the referee has got to ensure that, well, they're 1 meter apart, and, you know, even helping the players out, trying to see that they stay, I mean, 2 apiece within this. And it's stolen by Hidden Talent. Looking for the spaces that are out wide. And she's trying to make some use of her pace. And she's done well. She's gone wide. But she's got another defender to beat. And she's gone past her. That is one switch of play. And through another. Zigzagging through. But she slips. That's a disappointment for her. And it's been turned over. But look at it. The ball has gone way up. It's been turned over by Huruma, who are now trying to make their way through. Breaking through the tackles. Right up, and it's been held up, but there was an early infringement, so the referee calls back the play, tells them, look, you are offside. Penalty going the way of Huruma. No score in this final so far. So Huruma with the ball, trying to find some way through the Talent defense, and it's been knocked on. It's going to be a scrum for Hidden Talent just inside the 10-meter line. Clock ticking, no score so far. Hidden Talent with the scrum. They take it, and they've broken through straight from that scrum. They make their way down to the post, and it's try time! 5 points for Hidden Talent against Huruma in this final of the Under-19 Girls Tournament at the Safari Sevens. 5-0 up. Conversion time.
Ladies and gentlemen, Hidden Talent drawing first line.
Conversion time. The conversion is good, and it's 7-0.
Conversion is successful. Hidden Talent 7, Huruma 0.
It is, and Hidden Talent to restart this. 7-0. Hidden Talent all the time looking like the favorites. For this, given the scores that they've been dropping, and this resilient Huruma side have conceded a try from, and that's a good pickup from the restart, holding on to her feet and trying to shrug off the opposition. The ruck is set, and now they've got an opportunity. They've got space out wide. Can they make use of the feet? And the tackle is made. The progress is stopped. So that they are trying to steal the ball, and it's been turned away. Hidden Talent with the ball now. looking for space. They can make the pace out wide. And she's gone. And again, the second time she slipped. Not making use, of all the space that she's got. She's got the pace, but the pace has not been properly utilized. Another slice through the defense, and she's making a run towards the post, and it's another 5-pointer for Hidden Talent. 12-0. Try time.
Hidden Talent. Ladies and gentlemen, Daisy Zubeda winner brace. Checking the scores.
That's Daisy Zubeda. 2 tries she's made. A conversion to come as the bell goes to indicate that the first half has come to a close. Conversion is good. So it's 14-0 and halftime for Hidden Talent. What we're looking at now is this, and the referee blows the whistle to indicate that it is halftime.
Huruma 0.
So 14-0 it is for Hidden Talent.
The Kenya Rugby Union, ladies and gentlemen, like to thank
143 points they've scored so far.
led by Grand Kenya.
In this tournament, not conceded one.
Talk about being resilient, but that is what happens when you are being coached by former Kenya Lionesses scrum half Mary Serevi Musieka, while Huruma being coached by former Mwamba player and match official Paul Kilonzo. It has been an exciting first half. I'm sure, Daniel, we should look forward to an electric second half as the quest to be crowned Safari Sevens Women's Under-19 champions continues.
So the players are all together, and on the left you can see the Hidden Talent players. They're in the halfway, which they started the second half. That's a half they will be attacking, and that is the Huruma side. They're together trying to look at how they got to cut out this, and all the tries coming through from the line breaks after some gains have been made out wide.
Samurai Sportswear, official key provider of the Kenya Rugby Union.
So the match officials all huddled together, looking at every decisions that have been made.
Insurance provider, Capital FM,
And
official radio partner.
also,
And last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, the official alcoholic beverage partner of the
so
2018
you've got to look at the two sides
Safari
and all the indications that have been made. So the players getting back, and you can see the Huruma side. The Huruma side have made their way to the opposite half, ready for the restart. As the players get onto the floor. Some little bit of confinement going on, which gives players some time to rest. As the Huruma captain goes out there and asks, hey, what's going on? Are we having a restart? So the players having some extended rest. But it's all about, probably some of these, presentations. Players getting enough rest. This is about 2 minutes. Looks like some more physios, for the physios to do some little work. The players were on their knees, but now it's changed.
Both teams in a huddle still at halftime. It is Hidden Talent. They have taken the lead against Huruma by 14 points to 0. 2 tries from Daisy Zubeida. If she continues like this, one to watch out for in the years to come. This has been quite the breather here at the final of the women's under-19 competition at the Safari Sevens, coming to you live on KBC Channel 1. This has been quite the breather here at the RFUEA ground. Remember, this is the final of the women's under-19 competition at the Safari Sevens. It is Hidden Talent leading by 14 points to 0 against Huruma. Tries from Daisy Zubeida, the difference between the two sides. Remember, we had seen action earlier on when Nile Road kicked off the competition with a 20-0 win over Community Rugby. Huruma then defeated Nanyuki Knights by 22 points to 0. Maono losing 14-12 to Nguvu Community before Nanyuki Miners defeated St. Christine's by 22 points to 0. The teams are still in a huddle and looking as though they will be getting back for the second half any moment now. It was quite the breather, almost as long as that of a 15s rugby match. Remember, in 7s rugby, the break is a minute. But this has been quite the minute.
This has been a minute. This has been an African minute, so to speak. But back to the action.
As we just catch a glimpse of the crowd gathered here at the RFUEA ground. Remember, we still have more action tomorrow with the big boys competition, and tonight with the Zilizo Pendo edition, the veterans competition kicking off from 5:30 at the Impala Club. But for now, let us wind down the action in the women's under-19 competition. It is Hidden Talent leading by 14 points to 0 against Huruma. What does the second half have in store? The restart is there. Does it go the requisite turn? It doesn't. The referee is going to call back for the free kick, which will go the way of Hidden Talent. The advantage is now with Huruma. We saw Huruma earlier on disappoint Nakuru in that semi-final, winning by 15 points to 5, while Hidden Talent breezed through a 28-0 win over Ngumu Community in the other semi-final. But as it so stands, it is Hidden Talent with the upper edge in this match, looking to dominate, looking to ask questions.
The two technical teams of the finalists. The Huruma under-19 team coached by the variable Manny Musieka. Congratulations for making it this far. And Hidden Talent coached by Mwangi Waweru, aka Mwas.
There is a break in play. It seems the physical toll too much for these players to handle. They just have less than 7 minutes before it's all over, and they can enjoy the rest of the Safari Sevens. But as it so stands, it is Hidden Talent with the 14-0 lead against Huruma.
The Safari Sevens under-19 girls tournament in the final. That you have made it to the final. Manny Musieka and Mwas. Santeni, and keep up the good work.
As the Huruma player is aided up onto her feet, looking as though she'll play no further role in this match. But it has been a good competition for her and the rest of her teammates. And they can go home proud that they have exerted themselves. They still have all of 7 minutes to play, 7 minutes within which anything could happen. The scores could change. But as it so stands, it is hidden talent with the early advantage as we look to go into the final half of the Under-19 final at the Safari Sevens.
Under-19 girls tournament this year.
It's a scrum and putting the ball in are Huruma, who are trailing by 14 points to nil. It's the second half of this game, and they're trying to go wide. And so already the breakdown, trying to secure it, and they do. Huruma now looking for a switch of play, going out wide, and do they have the space? Making the passes almost by intuition. The support play is there, but right now the ball goes out to play. It's going to be a line out. It's going the way of Huruma. 5 meters into their half. With the referee helping the girls set up the line out positions. So line out. And it goes the way of hidden talent. And again, there's a break, and this is a clean pair of heels. She goes past two defenders and straight under the posts. Another 5-pointer. Going the way of hidden talent, and that is a 19-0.
Time, hidden talent. Joyce Mugai, ladies and gentlemen, going over and taking the scores to hidden talent 19. Huruma.
And that is 21-0 for hidden talent.
Hidden talent 21. Huruma.
Hidden talent showing Huruma. No Huruma. And also, they should just simply change their name to Talent. Unveiled talent. It's no longer hidden. $149 points scored by hidden talent so far in 4 matches.
Daniel, I am amazed with the way you are getting the numbers, and just wondering if you excelled at mental arithmetic.
Well, we got caned a lot to understand that. You know, to get through mental math. As now, hidden talent again try to make their way through, but play called back for penalty.
Just maybe.
And looks like they were not back 10.
Even the stadium announcer agrees with us. I'm sure I'm sure the stadium announcer is plugged onto the YouTube channel.
Yes.
And is getting a lot more creative.
Discovered talent. That's the name he's suggesting for them. As they now hold on to the ball, look at them, just sliding away, trying, to stay on side. As they hold on to it at the breakdown. They've got space they can make use of. Look at the wheels. The question is, can she break past that one? And the pass is made, but not held on to. It's turned over. Huruma get a hold of the ball as they try to move forward. But there's been a call. Looks like there's a stop in play. The referee is the only person who would really say why there was a stop in play and the call that they've got to make. So it's a penalty. It's a penalty to hidden talent. Looks like there was one tackle that wasn't fair, as the referee calls for a substitution, I think. So a substitution has been called. Let's see who's running in. Yes, Huruma have made a substitution. So play resumes, and there's a space for hidden talent. Can they break through? Send the ball back. They're inside the Huruma 22. And this one looks like it's over. An injection of pace by hidden talent inside the 22. They collect the ball and they try to move forward, trying to break through. The Huruma defense pick the ball up. The bell has gone. It's an indication that time is up. They try to make their way to the try line. Is the try legitimate? And the referee says it is. 26-0 it is, and they've reached the 150-point mark in this tournament. Michael, 150 points at any tournament by one team without conceding is quite commendable.
That is massive, massive, massive from hidden talent. They are surely the latest discovery in Kenyan women's rugby.
Discovered talent.
Edith Sally with the try, 26-0, and they make 4 substitutions. The game is all over. 28-0 at full time.
Well, just looking at the scores, I may have had my math right, but 135 points at the semi-final stage, at 23, and this comes to 163 points, conceded none for hidden talents, who are the champions of the under-19 Girls Championship at the 2018 Safari Sevens. What a show from them. 28-0 winners over Huruma, 2 converted tries in the first half and another 2 converted tries in the second half. That's how it all went down, and they will be celebrating big. The talents have been discovered, and they've decided that now the man who's going to enjoy and take all brand are the coaching staff. They're not letting them have any little bit of it, but you can see the camaraderie going to shake hands with the match officials and going to celebrate and also going to give some hugs to their opponents at the final, Huruma. So that's what we've had, and what we are only waiting to have now is a presentation of the trophy. And Michael, maybe you could summarize about this, about the under-19 girls tournament. Meanwhile, as I try get, this teams that are down here, as I try get, the under-19 teams already, and run down with the trophy presentation.
Well, Daniel, I must say that the action has been amazing. It has been exhilarating. Just watching the girls play right from 9 or 10 in the morning up to now, uninhibited rugby, expressing themselves. And you just feel that if this talent is tapped, if this talent is nurtured, Kenyan women rugby surely has a long way to go in terms of performance, and long way in a good way, in the sense that there is so much talent, a lot of amazing talent, as we just catch a glimpse of the trophies right here at the RFUEA ground. It has been amazing, amazing stuff, amazing scenes as well. Hidden talent eventually pulling off the victory, running off as the champions of the women's under-19 competition. They did not concede a try all day long. They were simply the best team, better than all the rest, and they have been crowned champions in the women's under-19 competition. And what we're seeing right now are the trophies as the officials from the organizing committee just get ready with the final part, the presentations.
My friend, hizo ni Ruma smart, wachia gazeti. wekwani kunywa inkapeti tonight mbeba inyuka kibeti this lale is malizaing me bana dunda
I said tonight we are dunda. I said my girl we are dunda. I said tonight
we are dunda
today. I said tonight we are dunda. I said my girl we are dunda. I said tonight
we are dunda
Everyone out there is getting ready to have the presentations made. Everyone having their photos taken. And you can see that that banner's been set. And all that people need to do is now to move in and collect their different awards. That's Huruma, who finished second overall at this tournament. That's a picture of the team that you are seeing. And already the champions of the under-19 team, Hidden Talent, warming down. That presentation going. As you see the individual trophies, the under-19 girls challenge trophy winner. Well, no 13th place winner, but that would definitely go to who finished in 7th place. There's a 5th place title, and that will be going to the Nanyuki Knights. As each of the trophies presented, and you can see they're all being lined up. And definitely they are the two big ones for the winners and the runners-up. As you can see, everyone moving quickly to make sure that those trophies and all those things are presented in good time. As the teams warm down, you can hear that the music in the background is going out loud as Hidden Talent hold their coach aloft, celebrating with him. These are some of the joys of being coach, and you can see that he seems to be, not enjoying the moment at the same time. Wants to be there. Everyone seems to be on the phone, is on WhatsApp, trying to get through to people. And you see, his game is live as Huruma warm down there. So the teams are there getting ready for the presentation. That will be happening in a short time. And from us at the RFUEA grounds, we say thank you for being with us. We will be handing you over to Club 1. We shall be handing you over to Club 1 Extra. That's happening right now, live from Broadcasting House. On behalf of the team, thank you and keep watching.